Alright, so it's about time I finally got onto this subject. I wanted to stay away from it, but I was like, you know what, I'll throw in my 2 cents. So, in case you haven't heard, 2 things have come up, and I'm going to talk about both subjects in here. One, well actually no, they have some correlation. Both these correlations involve Marvel and DC, and they kind of have the same correlation. And I know a lot of my friends, Ziploc Gory, Movie Geek 17, have talked about this before. So let's just dive right into it, starting with the Marvel half of it. Finally, Marvel has announced that North Star is getting married to his longtime boyfriend. Now, me personally, North Star isn't one of my favorite X-Men. Not because he's gay. I don't mind that he's gay. I'm all for love is love, as always. You know, I've never really minded homosexuality in comics, or anywhere in general. Like, it never really bothered me. I'm straight, but it's never really bothered me. In fact, in high school, I had 2 friends who were lesbians, and I actually attended their wedding. So, anyway, the main thing here is that Marvel's kind of playing it up that, hey, North Star, our first openly gay marriage in the Marvel comics. Now, Alex said this would be the first gay marriage in comic books. This would be the first openly gay wedded couple in comic books ever. Sorry to say, Alex, not to diss you or anything, but that title goes to Warren Ellis's authority in his authority books of Midnighter and Apollo. Those were the first 2 that was the first gay couple married in the authority. So this is actually this is still a first in the Marvel universe. This is the first gay married couple, and it doesn't. You know what? Doesn't bother me. My problem being, like I said, the reason why North Star isn't one of my favorite X-Men and why I haven't been keeping up with him a lot, and why it was like, wait, he's been dating a guy? Huh. I was actually, first off, I don't read Astonishing X-Men. Why? Because it takes so damn long for the book. You know, after Warren Ellis left that, the book is just basically, it's tossed over to writers. Originally, I thought it was going to be Greg Rucka, and now I hear that Marjorie Liu is doing really good at it. But the thing is that North Star isn't one of my favorite characters because he's not just been one character I've really paid attention to. I mean, because the X-Men comics I've read never really involved him. He was always a side character, and I never really read a lot of Alpha Flight, so, I mean, don't mind that he's gay, it's just that I've never really read anything interesting with him in it. So, maybe they're trying to make his character more interesting. So, yeah, this I don't mind. I'm glad they're kind of showing it off, and I don't know how the general audience is going to take this, but Marvel is treating this like an event. There's people are saying, oh yeah, first gay marriage in Marvel Comics. I'm like, yeah, kudos. The thing is, though, it's kind of weird, and actually my brother brought this up, and he brought up another point in when I talk about the other half, the DC part. He said, and keep in mind, guys, my brother is in no such way a comic book fan. The only way he knows about this and the DC thing is that he heard it over the radio on his way home. And he was talking to me, and he was like, you know, he was telling me about this, and he told me, what's the point? It's just kind of, no, here's what he said. He said about, when we were talking about the North Star thing, he pretty much said, it's kind of funny that they announced this 6 days after Barack Obama announces that he supports gay marriage. He said that may have something to do with it. Now, again, he's never really read comics, so, and again, this could be Marvel trying to say, oh yeah, we're new, check this out. Or, on the other hand, as Movie Geek 17 pointed out in his video, this could all be Marjorie Liu's idea. This could all be her. And it could be. It honestly could be. We don't know for sure. Either she wanted to write this, or Marvel... she wanted to write this, and Marvel just wants to hype it up for the whole, because of what Barack Obama said. And I'm not trying to be political, guys. This is why I didn't really want to do this subject, because it kind of dances around in the political stuff, and I never touch anything political. So, the fact that I'm doing this is, I'm trying really hard not to make this political. I'm just going to say, even though I'm straight, homosexuality has never bothered me. It is neither in comics, neither in real life. I've had friends who are gay, and I'm like, love's love. I'm all for free love. But yeah, it was just kind of weird that maybe this could have been Marjorie Liu's idea, and Marvel just wants to hype it up, or Marvel could have said, hey, get North Star married. But again, this is not something that is going to get me to read the book. I'm not reading Astonishing X-Men, and I've never really read Astonishing X-Men. In fact, I'm not really reading any X-Men books. There's so frickin' many. Yeah, after Schism, we just got more X-Men books. And it's not and I just feel like this is just trying to say, hey, Marvel's trying to say, hey, we're different, check this out. And the other half is like, well, is it going to get people to read the book? I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's just there. I think it's just going to be a story. So, and again, the other thing, and I'm not trying to sound like a jerk here, I'm just being realistic. How long do you think this marriage is going to last, guys? Let's face it. At this point, there is no superpowered superhero marriage other than Reed and Sue that lasts. Let's face it. So for all we know, this marriage can only last a year. Knowing Marvel, this could actually lead to a divorce or North Star or his boyfriend dying, because like I said, marriages, unless you're Reed and Sue Richards, your marriage ain't going to last very long, or your relationship isn't going to last very long. So again, I'm not trying to sound like a jerk, guys. I just wanted to throw in that bit of realism of, hey, Marvel doesn't like relationships other than Reed Richards and Sue Richards. Everyone else, fuck that. So anyway, but I don't mind if it was all Marjorie Liu idea. I'm glad she's taking a step up and doing some writing. Doing this, I think this could have been her idea, but I think Marvel's hyping it up because of what the president said. Again, that's just a theory, and I think, and pretty much my brother mentioned that as well. So anyway, let's move on to the other half of the DC half of the story. Now, for those who don't know, DC announced that they're going to basically reintroduce a superhero that hasn't been introduced yet in the New 52, but make him or her gay. They announced this at a convention, I think, earlier this week, or was it last week? I don't know. But DC basically said, yeah, we're bringing in a superhero that hasn't been reintroduced into the DC universe, and we're gonna make him or her gay. This feels very forced. Everything, I used to be very supportive of the DC relaunch, but everything DC's doing now just makes my head hurt. The DC logo was like, oh, that just looks disgusting. The relaunch has just been, in my opinion, while it's been an economic success, writing-wise, you need a pad and pencil for that shit. You need one of those line graphs, It's just been, creative-wise, a mess. I'm sorry, but Scott Snyder's Batman, Jeff Lemire's Animal Man, and iVampire, there are a lot of good titles, but there are also some really bad ideas on DC's part, for the most part. And this just feels very forced, unlike the North Star thing where, yeah, we knew he was gay. We knew he's been gay, since, I believe, the 70s. He came out of the closet in the 70s, so we know he's been dating other men before this. I didn't know that he had a new boyfriend. Again, he's not a character I really keep up with. But with this, it's like are you doing this, to show you're different just on the sake of being different? And again, this is something they announced, DC said, and my brother brought this up. He's like, yeah, DC announced this a few days after Obama said what he said about he's supporting gay marriage. And he also brought up to me, he's like, okay, so he pretty much said, I don't know what superhero they're going to do, and I don't really care. But here's my 2 cents. He pretty much told me, what's the point? Is it going to get new readers? Is anyone outside of comics going to care? Is anyone in comics going to care? And this is from a guy who's never really read comics. He's only seen the comic book movies, like, you know, The Dark Knight, Avengers, all that. I'm the comic book guy of the family. But he made the best damn point ever to me. He pretty much said, this is just pretty much them trying to be edgy, isn't it? And he pretty much said, you know, this is just, it sounds like DC is just trying to be, you know, they're trying to be different for the sake of being different. And it's just them trying to get more money out of it. It just feels like a total cash grab at the last second. That could have never, that really feels like what it is. If now, on the other hand, and this is something Movie Geek 17 brought up in his talk about the video, in his video, he pretty much said if this is a creative, if someone said, I'm going to reintroduce this character, and he or she is going to have a totally different take on his or her sexuality, then if creative-wise, if it's from a writer, then then by all means, go ahead. If you can make, and especially if you can make it work, that's the biggest thing. It's not so much of announcing it; it is rather than just throwing it out there. Rather than, oh yeah, now he's gay. Rather than, you know, it'd be really interesting to just kind of, you know, how you play around that. And we don't know what hero it is. We don't know what hero it really is. It could be, and again, it's a character that hasn't been a hero that hasn't been introduced yet in the comic books yet, you know, in DC Comics yet. People are saying it could be Plastic Man. It could be, oh god, if it's Wally West, Torgian R1 is going to shit a brick. I kid you not, guys. If it's Wally West, I'll be pissed off, but take cover when Torgian R1, if it is Wally West, if they reintroduce him as the one to be gay, and they just say, oh, he's just gay now, just because we wanted to, rather than having a creative standpoint on it. Ooh, I shudder to think of what Dan is going to do. But we don't know. We really don't know. Now, on the other hand, if it's a woman, then people are going to, that's also going to be an uproar, basically confirming that DC's trying, because they've really, let's face it, guys, they've really over-sexualized some of the female characters. I mean, yes, I know about Catwoman #1, about her on-screen, her on-page sex with Batman. Oh god, they're doing something that we knew they were always doing. But you didn't need to show it, that's the thing. But yeah, Catwoman, what we saw in Catwoman #1, what a lot of the new character designs for like Harley Quinn and all that, how they're really over-sexualizing the women. And this could, if it's a female character and they make her a lesbian and really over-sexualize it, then that's just gonna make DC's image, it's just going to make them look worse, you know? This could play off, if they can play it off right, and that's a very narrow shot in my opinion. On the other hand, they've made this is a double-edged sword, guys. This is a really double-edged sword. This could really hurt them if they mess up just one little bit. So, and again, what my brother said, what's the point? Are you going to get new readers when you announce that? Are you going to get comic book fans into this character more? Or are you really just going to alienate them further? Which I feel like that could be the case. So, anyway, guys, that's my 2 cents. I really didn't want to get... I'm not trying to be political or anything. That's just... I know this is a big subject, and I just wanted to throw my 2 cents in. Nothing big, really. It's just that, again, with the X-Men thing, it's just that I don't read X-Men, which is... I only wanted to bring it up because I feel like Marvel's just hyping it up. And the DC thing, I know a lot of people have talked about. I was like, why not? I'll just talk a little bit about it. But this is about it. I'm not going to bring it up anymore. I don't want to be mentioned about it anymore. This is just a small little subject, in my opinion. This is just going to be... I feel like this is going to be blown over after a few weeks. Hopefully. Hopefully, I assume. Anyway, guys, I'm out.